Comes Friday, the phone rings, it's Cary Grant. I said, I'm not in.
That punchline took Mel Brooks 4 days to build and about 3 seconds to deliver. Let me take you back to the beginning. 1992, Mel Brooks is on The Tonight Show with nothing to sell, no movie, no album, just Johnny Carson on his last season and Mel wanting to be there for it. Within 5 minutes, he's doing the 2,000-year-old man bit, and it still works. Carson asks what golf was like 2,000 years ago.
What did you do for recreation when you were 2,000 years old?
I said golf. We played golf.
Played golf 2,000 years ago?
Many thousands of years ago was the matrix, the beginning of golf.
I didn't know that.
It started very naturally. A skunk would come by the mouth of your cave. You'd take a stick, you'd say, get the hell out of here. It would travel a while.
That's right.
You know? Go by somebody else. He'd say, get the hell out of here.
So there were no golf balls,
when it
of
fell
course.
in a hole, then everybody was happy.
That's
that
right.
Was golf.
I see. It started that way.
Ooh, that's how it was. I just made that up.
Did you
He improvised that entire thing live. Carson knew. That's why he's laughing before it ends. Then he talks about growing up in Brooklyn, specifically a very specific theft from Woolworths, using a Filipino yo-yo demonstrator as cover.
We used to go to the Woolworths to steal. Naturally, nobody had money.
Yeah.
You know? So we go to the Woolworths, and there was this guy, a little Filipino guy that was demonstrating yo-yos. And he'd say, now we're going to walk the dog. And he'd do it, and he'd walk the yo-yos. And he'd come and he'd say, now we're walking the dog back. And he'd walk the dog. While he was walking the dog, we were stealing yo-yos. You know? We were very busy. One day, unbeknownst to me, but knownst to the manager of the store, I copped a little toy pistol, this big little thing, and I put it in here. I started to go out the door, and he said, hey! And I pulled out the gun. I said, get back, I'll blow your head off! And he jumped back, and I ran away. I still got the gun.
The delivery of "I still got the gun," completely casual, is one of the best throwaway lines in this whole series. Carson doesn't even try to respond to it. And then comes the Cary Grant story. I want you to pay attention to how long this takes to set up, because the longer it takes, the harder the punchline lands.
When I left the Sid Caesar show, well, not actually left, I was kind of fired, but sort of fired, anyway. I came out to Hollywood to write a movie. I was at Universal Studios, working with a guy called Marvin Schwartz. I trusted him. Anyway, across the street, I saw, there was another bungalow. We were working in a bungalow, and on the top of the bungalow it said Grant Art. I said, what does that mean? What the hell is Grant Art? He said, well, that's Cary Grant's company. Grant Art. I said, well, does Cary Grant ever come to that bungalow? He said, yeah, sure. I said, sure. You're kidding. He said, no, he'll be here in about 10 minutes. He comes every day for lunch. He'll be here about 10 to 12. He shows up. It's about 11:45. He'll be here. I said, Cary Grant, I'm going to see him in person. Yes, Cary Grant will be here. So I waited by the drapes.
He waited by the drapes for Cary Grant like a child. He was in his 40s.
And sure enough, a guy in a double-breasted suit with a little yellow boutonniere walks down. He leaves this guy. Jumps up the steps 2 at a time, bounds through the door. I said, it looked like Cary Grant. He said, it was Cary Grant. I said, holy mackerel, Cary Grant. He's about 60 yards away from me. Cary Grant. I grew up in Brooklyn. Cary Grant. Oh, my God, I think I'm going to faint. He said, hey, we see him every day. I said, but I don't. My, Cary Grant. Cary Grant.
Cary Grant hears him, calls his name, has bought every one of his albums, and invites him to lunch. This is where it starts going beautifully wrong.
So anyway, I waited. He said, we'll be coming out to lunch soon. I said, he's coming out to lunch soon. We're going to see him. See, there, about 10 minutes later, he bounds down the steps. I said, oh, my God, it's Cary Grant. It's Cary Grant. So he said, come on, let's go to lunch. So we walk down a path, and I somehow take another road, and I hear behind me, Man Brooks. I turn around, it's Cary Grant. I bought every single one of your albums. You've made me poor, blah. I said, oh my God, he's talking to me. Cary Grant is actually talking to me. I said, Marvin, what should I do? He said, talk back to him. But all right. I said, hello, Cary Grant. I called him by one name, Cary Grant.
Cary Grant.
I figured that was his name.
Cary Grant.
I didn't know him well enough to call him Mr. Grant or Cary. I called him Cary Grant. I said, hiya, Cary Grant. You look good, Cary Grant. Are you really Cary Grant? And he said, come on, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going into the lunchroom there. And he said, oh, the commissary, yeah, come with me, Bart, I'll buy you lunch. Oh, my God, Cary Grant is going to buy me lunch. Oh, so I went in, and I sat next to him, and he had a hard-boiled egg. That's all he had. I don't know why.
A hard-boiled egg. Cary Grant, just a hard-boiled egg.
And I had a tuna fish sandwiches on whole wheat with a slice of tomato. No mayo, hold the mayo. And I ate the sandwich, and then we left together, and he said, walking down the path, he said, what's your favorite color? I said, blue. He said, yellow. I said, yellow is yours, blue is mine. What's your favorite car? I said, a Buick. He said, a Rolls Royce. I said, that's nice. And we talked like that, you know. Me saying Buick, he saying Rolls Royce. It was a very interesting conversation. He went to Grand Aunt, I went to Schwartz. I thought that was it. The next day, about 11:45, we got a call. Is Mel Brooks there? Yes. It's Cary Grant. Would you like to go to lunch? Sure, Cary. All right. Holy mackerel, Cary Grant. All right, I comb my hair. I brush my teeth with my finger. Very nervous. Cary Grant, we go in again. He has a hard-boiled egg. I don't say nothing. I have a corned beef sandwich with mustard on rye. Okay, one of the few out there that ate it that way. The rest had it with mayonnaise on white. So he says, what do you like to play? I said, well, I like to play football. I like to play baseball. He said, well, I like to play party games. Oh, that's interesting. Like Ghost. What is Ghost? You dress up? No, G, you get a G. H, you get an H, Ghost. Oh, fine. And we talked. Okay, interesting. He goes to Grand Aunt, I go to Schwartz, I'm back home. The next day at 11:45, ring, it's Cary. All right, I meet him outside. We go on to lunch together. Me and Cary Grant, Mel Brooks and Cary Grant, we're holding hands. We don't know what to do for each other. We don't know what to say to each other.
3 days, 3 lunches, a hard-boiled egg every time, running out of things to say, and then Friday comes.
Anyway, let me tell you the punchline. Comes Friday. The phone rings, it's Cary Grant. I said, I'm not in.
Enough already.
We didn't know what to say. I had nothing more to say to him. I said my favorite color. I said my favorite car.
I'm not in.
I mean, there was nothing more to talk about.
We'll be back.
We had exhausted our conversation.
3 days of lunch with one of the most famous men in Hollywood. Favorite colors, favorite cars. A hard-boiled egg every single time. And on day 4, Mel Brooks told Cary Grant he wasn't home. That's the whole story. I've watched it 4 times putting this together, and the pause before "I'm not in" gets me every single time. What got you more? The golf, the yo-yo heist, or the punchline? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more nights like this one, hit subscribe. There's so much more where this came from.